Marvel's getting ready to recast the X-Men. Announcement could be on the way as soon as this weekend. What if we told you, though, there's an online uproar and it all has to do with the X-Men allegedly being too white? No, seriously, they're too white. White, white, white. They're too darn white. Hello, folks. Hello, friends. Welcome back to the channel that continues to keep you ahead of the culture curve. We're swerving on over to X, to Twitter, to Reddit, to all the places where you regret being and spending time. But folks, we're there and we're diving in. There's a lot of outrage. It all has to do with the X-Men, their races, as purported to be announced as soon as D23. We'll tell you what it's about. Click the like button. And here we go. Well, the young people out there are all in an uproar online. And why? Well, you won't believe this one. Man, actually, you may. It's because the cast of X-Men, as probably going to be announced at D23 this weekend, are too darn white. That's right. They're just too darn white. MCU Film News says the cast of Marvel Studios' X-Men so far, you can see we got Cyclops, we got Jean Grey, we got Rogue, we got Beast. Wait a minute. You know what? I'm not even going to guess. And we got, is that Emma Frost? Is that who that is?
Emma Frost.
Okay, Emma Frost. Is she holding that little, what's the shark guy? What's that guy? Anybody know the shark? I don't know that. It's the little shark from Marvel Rivals. I can't remember his name. He's annoying. Anyway, it's caused an uproar. Darren Mooney has this on Twitter, says it would be the most Trump-era thing ever. And in many ways, the perfect encapsulation of the underlying logic of modern fandom nostalgia culture. Good Lord, man. How many words to get there? For Marvel Studios' first take on the famously diverse X-Men to be the all-white original 5. Now, why is Darren Mooney saying this? Because it does look indeed like they're going with 5 very pasty white folks. Now, they might try to recast Beast, but where's Storm? Where is Storm? And with 1.4 thousand likes on X, you can see this from a little gray rain cloud. Literally. It says nobody is watching an all-white X-Men movie in 2028. Nobody's going to watch that. You've got Elizabeth saying the thought of watching one without Aurora, that Storm, they must be out of their minds. This is why Dark Phoenix flopped. I can go through these in just a minute, folks, but it's everywhere. People, young people are not happy that the X-Men are being cast this way. Derek, I'll go to you first. I think it's crazy to do an X-Men movie without Storm. I will say that. But
so wait, do we know they're not going to have a Storm in the film? Is that what they've said?
So here's the deal, Derek. They might do Storm. They might be working on casting Storm. Cynthia Erivo is pushing hard to get to be Storm. I'm sorry, Derek. I didn't want to tell you live. I'm sorry.
All right, forget Storm. We don't need.
And her fans will say of her performance, she sure nailed it. I tell you.
Oh, I tell you.
I don't know. It looked cast appropriate to me. It looked appropriate to me. Everybody looked like the characters that they're portraying from the comics. I have zero problem with it. I don't know why anyone else would. As long as you cast appropriately, everybody should be fine with that. What's the problem? What's the problem? It sounds like there might be some ism happening here because these characters are white characters. What's the problem?
So we've got this response. It says, dude, it is the X-Men original team. This is such a non-issue. It's not about it being all white. Their OG argue with the wall.
Right.
You know, I will say that when it comes to the X-Men, there are so many characters. There are so many great characters. And I've talked before, this is the strange thing to me, is that when they have been gender swapping, the X-Men, or not the X-Men, but Marvel characters like crazy, I've been saying over and over, what are you doing? You don't have to go with Girl Thor. You don't have to have She-Hulk. Like, there are cool characters that are not just the race swap versions or the gender swap versions. Like, the X-Men are filled with Storm and Rogue and Psylocke, and like, we can keep going and going. There are so many cool characters. And then we get to the X-Men. And they're like, well, what if we did an all-white X-Men? Like, let's really... I can't make heads or tails of what they're going to do anymore. You've got the opportunity. And they go, albino.
I think they're going to cast... Look, you got to have Storm in there. Okay?
You got to have Storm.
You got to have Storm in there. I don't think there's a chance that doesn't happen. But I don't think there's any, like, look, we were dealing with this when people were upset that Marvel was, quote unquote, canceling a lot of black shows that were underperforming or black movies. There was this big controversy about that on Black Twitter and all throughout X. And it was like, this is ridiculous. Marvel's canceling shows that aren't making money, though nobody's watching. Okay, Wonder Man was one of them, had low ratings, and nobody checked for it. So they canceled it. There were issues going on with Blade. We know that. Now, that's the problem, in my opinion. Blade was a real problem, that they couldn't figure out how to have a vampire hunter kill vampires and make it look cool. That's a Kevin Feige problem, in my opinion. But everything else that they did with Ironheart and with Secret Invasion and all the other shows, they gave these characters a shot. They gave them an opportunity. And so there was this big outcry over them canceling those shows. And it's like, well, no, they should cancel them. Just like they should cast the X-Men appropriately. All right. So Cyclops needs to be white. Jean Grey, Emma Frost, Beast, and who was the other person? Was it Rogue? Yeah. And then
yeah.
And then you have Storm come in. And there's some other characters, you could probably get Jubilee. I think Kitty Pryde would also be a good addition to the team.
Jubilee's Asian. That works out great.
Yeah. So this is a non-controversy. These are just people on X being people on X.
All right, Derek, you ready for more controversy?
Oh yeah.
Now, if we get a casting of Storm, if Storm is going to be in the movie, which, my gosh, how can you not have Storm? But if we get Storm, it's not good enough, Derek. It's not good enough to cast someone of color to be Storm. We're getting this kind of stuff online.
Oh, God.
7.6 thousand likes this. We want a dark-skinned actress to play Storm in the X-Men. No more light-skinned Storm. So we're going to get into this.
To their credit, Storm is from Africa, and she's very dark in the comics, all right? And sure. I believe in getting as close to the original as humanly possible. That's what I believe in, all right? As close as you can get. And so if they find an actress that it really gets close, cast that actress, as close as you can. I think Halle Berry, in my opinion, was too light-skinned. I'm not doing the colorism thing, but I think she was a bit on the lighter side. If they have found a better actress at that time, I'm not sure. But
let's get real, Derek. Did you when Halle Berry was Storm? Did you go, oh no?
Oh, I didn't care. I love me some Halle Berry. And don't get it twisted, bro. But I'm just saying, from a casting standpoint, like it was the whole thing with Lilo and Stitch and the Nani girl and all the controversy from there. And I agreed. I said, hey, you should try to get as close to the original. Okay, you didn't create the character, so try to get as close as you can. But the last thing you should do is race swap, from one to the other. So if it's a lighter shade of brown, I'm fine with that.
I have a proposal to make.
Please.
I want to meet the woke crowd in the middle. I want to say, you know what? You're right about all this race swapping stuff. I'm ready to go with it. I suggest, in the interest of extending an olive branch,
this is not going well.
We're willing to give you all of the characters that you want that you can race swap, but we want Storm, and she has to be played by an albino woman. And if they complain about it, then obviously they're against people with that particular skin condition, and they need to explain themselves.
But
you had to go there, didn't you, Lauren? You had to go there.
Explain themselves. That's their glory is that they don't have to explain nothing to nobody.
It's always the token white guy on the panel, Lauren. It's always you. All right, Lou. They're trying to relaunch the X-Men, and they're already getting stuck in these, woke controversies with young people. And what are your thoughts on it?
Well, in my particular ethnicity, there is this word Dayenu, which means it would have been enough. It's part of the Passover thing. If he had just gotten us out of Egypt, it would have been enough. If he had taken us to Sinai, but not given us the 10 Commandments, it would have been enough. You know what? It would have been enough if they make an X-Men movie with a story and characters we give a damn about that actually has a happy ending with the heroes winning. I have yet to see that they're capable of doing that. So what color people are is kind of secondary to me.
Well, I'll tell you this, in terms of the fandom and where people are, right now you've got Endymion, and I'm going to agree with this. Marvin's going to agree with this. Bo DeMaio is the guy who wrote the first season of X-Men 97 for Disney Plus. And, he's a gay black man. And
yeah, but he'll have to change his name to Bo to Ketchup because Mayo is white.
Oh boy. Now, Lou, you be good over there. So Bo DiMaio, I've disagreed with him on some things and felt like the first season strayed into some very on the nose political kind of stuff in the modern era. But at the same time, I gave that season a very high score because quality wise, it was a darn good show. And Demian says the quality of X-Men 97 fell off a cliff. Bring back Bo DiMaio or cancel it because WTF is this? And we can't play it, folks, but it's terrible. It's just terrible. The final battle in this season 2. And so I just want to say to everybody out there who might criticize us, I'm on the same boat. Bring back Bo DiMaio. He is, so nobody out there say, oh, Pro, you're always just trying to stir up controversy. Listen, Bo DiMaio seems to be the only guy who can get that right. Bring him back. Bring the guy back.
Tend to agree. I mean, when hearing the guy talk, he knows his comic book characters and he knows his stuff and he presents some interesting arguments. Now, like you, I've got some disagreements with him about some things. I didn't watch X-Men 97, but Marv did. Marv was skeptical about it and he loved it.
Yep.
And he's saying the same thing, that he could only get, I think he said 3 episodes in to the second season and he had to stop watching. So the creator, the writer, the showrunner matters. They have a vision, and you don't have to agree with somebody all the time, but you got to at least take what they're putting out there and run it through your own lens and see if they've treated the characters and the storylines correctly. And if they do, you got to give them credit for it. And that's what he did with that first season.
And what they do to some degree in their own time is their own business, and who cares? Yeah. I mean, we are living in an age where Donna Mills, remember Donna Mills, blonde actress from the 60s, 70s, 80s? She just started at age 84 an OnlyFans page.
Now, Lou, I told you to get off there. Lou, you're going to get all kinds of stuff you don't want on your computer going on that page. You stay away from there.
I'm not going there, but I saw the story and I thought, But, people were complaining about Bo DiMaio's extracurricular, whatever. What the hell? Let him do his own.
Yeah, and like nothing matters except can you do a good job? Like that's all that matters. Bo DiMaio, where we took some umbrage in the past, was he was talking about as a gay black man, he understood the X-Men better than anybody else because yada, yada, yada. Right. And I was saying, I don't really think that's the prism through which you should view, what your role is. But he did a great show, and whoever is replacing him can't. So that's it. Remember, because we believe in meritocracy here. So bring him back or get rid of the show. That's all I'll say. Derek, I want to go you for the last word, though, because there is something interesting in all this. Amidst the chaos of the outcries online, and by the way, Blue Sky is way more vociferous, but we're not going to go there because I don't want to give them any kind of signal boost about, X-Men is too white, X-Men is too white. Derek, the interesting thing to me is we don't know who's going to be playing Wolverine or if Wolverine's going to be in it. And I think that's because they know they can't replace Hugh Jackman. Like there is nobody who can step into the Wolverine role. There's nobody.
Yeah. Nobody. What has he been playing the role since 2000, right? And I mean, he's been Wolverine for 25 years, and he's been the only Wolverine. Spider-Man has been recast, Batman's been recast, Superman's been recast. There is only like Blade. There's only one Wolverine, and there's maybe ever only going to be one Wolverine. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to replace him. They're going to try, obviously.
I wonder what George Lazenby's doing lately. Maybe he's available.
Yeah, they might be interested too. It'll be interesting to see where they go with it. Finding an age-appropriate Wolverine is somebody that can kind of, still look young as the other characters kind of age. I don't know how that's going to work, but that's tough shoes to follow or step into, man. Hugh Jackman is Wolverine, one of a kind. He did the best job of that character that I think anybody could have done.
Yeah, and I'll just say, folks, regarding the X-Men, it is one of the most authentically diverse groups of superheroes. The roster is great, and nobody has ever complained about it because it's always been authentic. So all they have to do is cast people that look and act like these characters and keep the characters what they are. Problem solved. So who knows? Maybe Marvel will figure out a way to screw that up. They seem to lately. But that's what's up right now, folks. The online outrage continues on. We've reached the end yet again. But ladies and gentlemen, we've had fun today, have we not? And until the next time we get to do so yet again, Be a friend to the channel. Click that like button. Share your thoughts in the dialogue down below. And if you're not yet subscribed, well, we need you right here on Team Pro. Until we meet again, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.